We finally got a week in here at Bowman Gray Stadium. After 2 straight rainouts, we saw a great crowd and a packed night of racing action at the Madhouse. Jeff Bunton, Bob Dillner to do the debrief here. All right, let's talk about that modified race, because one mistake is all it took for Burt Myers to lose this race.
Yep, one mistake. I'm not sure if it was coming out of 4 on that restart or if it was maybe a slip up right here at the start finish line. I'm not sure, but Lee Jeffries made that bumper wider than it was built to be. And I believe you got a picture of some orange on that back bumper of Lee's. But Lee held on to a good finish there, a good win, a memorable win.
Yeah, and he said it was, a hard-fought win,
yes,
because he knew as soon as he got by, which was like the Red Seas opened, honestly, for Lee Jeffries, and he was like, wow, I got the lead. Couldn't believe it. And then he knew the rest of the race it was going to be a hard-fought battle, because that front bumper, that orange front bumper on Burt Myers' car was going to be collecting the back bumper. And you mentioned that picture. We took a picture of Lee Jeffries' back bumper after the race. Not only did it have orange on it, it looked like a chisel on the back end of that bumper on that 75 car. His 25th career win here. And what's cool, let's stay on Lee Jeffries a little bit, because in 2 weeks we head to Ace Speedway for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic to pay tribute to Robert Jeffries, and he's really looking forward to that one.
Oh, absolutely. Robert Jeffries is a main name in the Southern Modified world, and we're going to pay tribute to him at Ace Speedway coming up. I cannot wait for that. Lee Jeffries is making a return to the Smart Modified Tour. We're very excited to have him on board. If he has a good run, you may see him be a regular again. That'd be something to see.
That would be a lot of fun to see Lee Jeffries back with us, because Robert, he won the first ever Smart Modified event, and a lot of history there for sure, with all the starts that he had and the 3 victories and so forth. But I do want to get back to Burt Myers, because you could see the emotion on his face when I went down to that pit area, and I went up and I said, hey, what was it? He goes, I missed a shift.
Yeah.
And you could tell he knew he let one slip away.
See, we wasn't sure if it was mind games maybe being played on the restarts. A lot of that goes on here at the Madhouse, but on that one restart, since he admitted that, good for him, manning up on that. But let me tell you something, he's still going to be tough in the following weeks here at the Madhouse. Yeah,
the Madhouse, as well as the Smart Modified
Tour.
The most recent winner at Franklin County Speedway in Virginia just a couple of weeks ago. Another guy that was one tough cookie tonight, Tim Brown, not feeling well, had IV on Thursday, just left here to get another IV, not feeling well at all, and Tim Brown persevered tonight.
Yes. If you can battle the flu and battle this place, you're a heck of a modified driver. Not only do you come in this place and battle your competitors, you're battling the track itself. This is the Madhouse. This is a very unique place to race at. So if you're battling sickness and battling the car, battling the competitors, good for him, because he ended up bouncing back and having a pretty good finish. And there at the beginning, he would slide out up top. I wasn't sure what was going on. So that makes sense that maybe he wasn't feeling well, wasn't hitting his marks. But at the end of the night, he did good.
And one more final note on the 100-lap modified race. We didn't note the fact that this was a big race here tonight. What'd you think of Brandon Ward and Danny Bohn? It was an interesting incident down in turn number 3.
We were preaching on flow about patience. There's no patience here at the Madhouse. When you walk through there, you don't have family, you don't have friends here, you don't have patience. And I believe Brandon Ward pushed the envelope a little bit going into the corner, but also I cannot remember who was in front of Danny Bohn.
Danny Probst.
Danny Probst, yes. Danny Probst was kind of holding up that part of the field, okay? So Danny Bohn was showing some patience, but you can't have any here at the stadium, so it's a tough balance. So you can't really point everything toward Brandon Ward. You can't point everything toward the other two, Danny Bohn and Probst, but it's Madhouse racing. It's going to happen, and it happened over in turn 3.
Yeah, I like what Danny Bohn told me after the race. He said, you know what? It doesn't pay to be a nice guy. He could have run into Danny Probst. He didn't. Brandon Ward got into him, and he said, I'm going to remember that one for the next 100-lap race. And let's switch to the sportsman. Chuck Wall, little donut guy, wins again, and the Flo Booth got the donuts, I think, after his win, though. Am I correct?
In the mini stock, after the win this time.
After the win in the
Yes,
stadium stock.
yes.
So, you know, I guess the tradition continues. Although it was a little bit late, it needs to come a little bit sooner because my brother Matthew needs his donuts earlier in the night. So anyway, well, besides that, Chase Robertson in this NASCAR sportsman race, I think that was an interesting scenario in the Twin 20s here tonight because he was flat out run over,
Yes. Yeah.
In that first race.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he wins.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible rebound.
It's rare to see somebody go from zero to hero here at the Madhouse. Usually it's vice versa. But with a hot track today during the day, the high temperatures, and then everything starts going back down, this track tightens up, and you know, the first race, you get to go back there after the first race and work on your sportsman car and see if you can make changes that what was going on in the first race you can make better for the second race. Chase Robertson knocked out a grand slam with that setup. When he came back out here for the second race, had at least an 8-car length from him in second place. Perfect finish for him.
I think he's going to be disappointed because I don't know how he's going to win more races here at Bowman Gray because the night of his prom, his high school prom, on opening night, he wins the race. Now, he did win another race this year. But yesterday, he graduates from high school, Oak Grove High School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Check the box there, comes back and wins again. So he's going to need to go back and coach something, maybe baseball, because he's a baseball player in high school, to get more wins here.
He's going to have to do something. He's on a wild streak right now. But, you know, for something that a kid that can go to school, go do all these other accolades away from a racetrack like this, and then come over here and whoop up on them like he's doing. I mean, what other kid do you know that's doing that? We got ourselves a little superstar here at the Madhouse.
Absolutely. He's going to have to go to college and maybe, you know, do the double between doing something special in college and then coming back and winning a year. Who knows? By the way, congratulations to you for graduating from the flag stand to the booth with Flo Racing. You like that segue right there?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Graduation, flag stand, booth. Tonight was very, very special to me. I appreciate Flo and your brother Matthew. Matthew's a best friend of mine. Me and you getting close. We're good friends, and tonight was awesome. Tonight was pretty fun. Still the best seat in the house is the flag stand. The unsafest seat in the house is the flag stand here. But up there, I was in the AC calling the race. It was awesome to call the race and call these superstars of the Madhouse. I felt like JR and Michael Cole on WWF, you know?
Oh my God!
WWE calling these superstars, because these drivers here at the Madhouse, they're like no other drivers in the country.
I thought you were going to give me
tough.
like a superstar, you know, Jimmy Superfly Snuka
Oh
or
man,
something like
we
that.
had Jimmy Floss Snuka. We actually had Macho Man tonight in the chain race. He landed the elbow drop on his windshield, crushed it. So he can give Macho Man a run for his money on that elbow drop that he did on the windshield.
By the way, did you catch that? Best friend Matthew, and we're just
Getting
to know each other.
We're getting close.
I'm his best friend.
I'm out. I'm out.
Yes. Yes.
Jeez.
I just bombed the short track life.
My God.
I was gonna.
You gotta warn me.
I
You
didn't-
saw him coming.
I didn't want to be part of it.
You saw him coming. You didn't warn me.
I was gonna knock
felt
you off.
something rumbling, and then I seen it. You gotta tell me.
I almost
Hopefully-
took you out over the rail.
That would have been memorable.
I did like you.
You did. You did.
See you next week.